Okay, so got to put my 2 cents in on this one. Looks like it just hit daybreak over there. Let me turn this TV off. It's making my face look blue. So it just turned daybreak over there in Ukraine, and all of a sudden reports of bombs going off in Kiev, Odessa. Putin goes on TV, announces a limited military operation to secure the safety of the Russians living in the Donbass area of eastern Ukraine. But at the same time, there's all of these reports of different things happening around the country. According to Scott Ritter, who's been keeping close tabs on this, look up Scott Ritter. I just saw him on Jackson Hinkle. He stated that paratroopers have landed in, I believe he said Kiev, and I believe he said somewhere else, Mariupol or wherever the Azov battalion is, the neo-Nazi battalion that is basically a proxy of the Ukrainian government and also a proxy of us in the United States. So apparently they've already taken the city. That is the headquarters of the Azov battalion. They're done. They've knocked out basically a bunch of military infrastructure in Ukraine. They bombed the airport runway or air traffic control tower or something. The Russian Defense Ministry released a statement saying that civilians won't be threatened. Apparently, they're doing precision strikes, taking out the military and communications infrastructure of Ukraine. So Putin has gone in. He intends to take the government of Ukraine out of power, the puppet government, the puppet regime of the United States that's been a puppet regime for 8 or 9 years now, maybe 7 or 8 years. The puppet regime that helped enrich people like the Biden family. They won't be in power much longer. This looks like a very well planned, very well executed military operation, the likes of which the United States is not capable of pulling off at this juncture. It's more than just, the Russians fulfilling an objective and using their military to fulfill an objective. It is a show of force. It is a statement. It's saying that United States, stop treating us like, we're some redheaded stepchild, literally. The United States has basically treated the situation like they were talking to a toddler, and now the toddler has kicked the United States in the groin. This is much bigger than just a limited military operation to take out a hostile government on the border of Russia that was being infiltrated, by the way, by neo-Nazis. Neo-Nazis that were supported by the United States for many years, off and on. And I'm sure covertly they are still supported. They up until just now when they're gonna be done after today, but they were probably being covertly supported by elements of the United States and Western intelligence. So Russia just took them out. They're going to take the government out of power, the puppet government, and the United States once again, okay, is left looking like a complete buffoon of a nation. Afghanistan was the first domino to fall. This is the second domino. What's going to be the next domino, I wonder? Could it be, perhaps, just thinking off the top of my head, maybe China will do something next? So this is, what you're witnessing is the decline of an empire. And the United States empire, it won't go down. It won't go down with a bang. It'll go down with a whimper. The Ming Dynasty ruled China for 400 years. They were gone in 20. The Roman Empire took 100 or so years to crumble and fall. The Byzantine Empire took uh, several hundred years to decline. The French monarchy was gone in a few weeks. We're seeing the same process. I've said that time and time again. I've written that on my political page on Facebook. The same process. It's a natural process. Empires rise and they fall. Institutions have a shelf life. The United States federal government is an institution, and it is reaching the end of its shelf life. And why I'm making such a big deal about this is because if you are a nation that has used its military supremacy to get what it wants around the world economically and so forth, and then your military looks like a complete incompetent mess, that's going to affect everything that that empire now does, business deals, diplomatic negotiations. The fact of the matter is the United States could have treated this matter much more delicately and been much more respectful and understanding of Russia's concerns. But the United States government is not in touch with reality at this point. They're still stuck in the past, 10 years ago, or however long ago, when the United States had absolute supremacy over the rest of the world, back when we were able to invade sovereign countries and kill millions of people and say fuck you to the rest of the world. We're not able to do that anymore. So Americans, get used to it. And you're not going to be able to stop it. You see, an institution is like a herd of 10,000 wildebeests. An institution like the federal government is like a herd of 10,000 wildebeests. Okay? Changing the direction of that herd is going to be very difficult. If it's going in one direction, for example, towards the precipice, okay, no one's going to be able to stop it. Certain things can change the direction of the herd. Fear, anger, things like that, base emotions, but it's not going to change it for the better. But generally speaking, that herd's going to go in one direction. Government agency is going to government agency. Government's going to government, okay? And there's nothing anybody can do about it. Trump is not going to fix it. Your stupid Republican congressman that you're going to vote for this year, they're not going to fix shit, okay? We're heading towards decentralization. We got a front row seat to the crumbling of a major world power. We got front row seats to it. Now, it may not be a terrible thing. It may be that like I said a minute ago, the federal government dies with a whimper, and the states reassert their God-given rights to sovereignty that the founders of this country intended. Okay, then we can go back to being a country of limited government, a more decentralized country, and that was probably the best times economically for this country were during, for example, the Gilded Age, and around that time when the states had a lot more power and the federal government was very limited. So we might be heading to that, and that would be a good thing. But this is just a sign. Now, every country sees this. First of all, very few countries are going to want to get in the same position that Ukraine was in. Very few world leaders are going to get in that position that Ukraine was in, hobnobbing with the United States, thinking the United States would protect them and that they would be able to do whatever they want because the United States had their back. What world leader is going to that is not suicidal is going to do that now? That's the first thing, that the major consequence of this and of Afghanistan. The second consequence is now our rivals. They're not bad people because they're rivals. They're just rivals. Russia, China. Now they see that the United States is no longer competent, and that now they're going to do what they want to do. So this is what the idiot American civilian gets for being so apathetic as to what's going on in Washington, D.C. Okay, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. But this is, to recap, just so I can go to sleep in a minute, looks like a very well coordinated, very well executed military operation is being conducted as we speak in Ukraine by the Russians, and it appears that we may see a takeover of this country that's going to rival anything we've ever seen in history. Maybe in a matter of days, Ukraine will have surrendered. Okay? And the whole world is going to change after this. The United States is no longer the supreme global power. Those days are over as of right now. So get used to it.